Hello, I'm Helen and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing one of my favourite monthly videos and it's all about our mini journal zines. And I'm a little bit late again this month, but I've just been so happy to see loads of you tagging me in on Instagram and sharing with me your zines that you've already made for May. So just thank you. I absolutely love seeing them. So in this video, I'm going to share a flip through of the other pages that I created in my zine for April. And I'm also going to set up my zine for May. And I'm not going to go through this time the full making of the journal zine, but if you hop back 1 month, and I'll try and remember to leave this linked down below, you'll be able to find my last journal zine video where I did go through all of the steps to make them, and they're really, really easy. And I think they're just such a perfect project if you've not got loads of time or you're perhaps feeling a bit overwhelmed with your journals, just to create these with just some mini pages inside documenting your favourite moments. I just think it's a really achievable and fun project to kind of get going with your journaling. And I just can't wait to see the collection at the end of the year with all of these together. So I hope that you've got your zines ready and that you'll journal along with me, and I hope you enjoy the video. So I'm going to start off by sharing a quick flip through of my April journal zine. These first 2 pages I completed in the video last month. So that was my April cover page and my intentions for the month. And because it was my birthday, I really wanted to document some of that. So I've got some gorgeous books for my birthday. And I've also written there about my daughter came home for the weekend after my birthday and spent a couple of days here. So it was just wonderful. Also, the weather was really nice on the weekend in the run-up to my birthday, so we're able to meet up outside with some friends. I was also able to see all of my family all outside, which is all we're allowed to do at the moment, but the weather was really kind to us, so it's lovely to have that documented in there. I also then have documented my book launch, and that photo there shows both my first and second book in the different languages that it's been released in, which is obviously just still so surreal to me, but incredible. So I wanted to document my thoughts and feelings about that and get that in here. And then I did an end of month review where I've written April was one of those best kinds of months. The weather was beautiful for lots of it. Abby came home for the weekend and I got to see my family. I also had lots of exciting things like my book launching, appearing on Crafters TV and an interview for Cosmopolitan magazine. I really couldn't wish for more. It was a wonderful month, so I feel extremely lucky and really happy that that's documented in this little journal zine. So that's going to be added to those for now, for that pile. And I've created the journal zine ready for May. And what I think I'm going to do for the cover is I'm going to use this, which is from my latest printable bundle. So I think that would look quite nice as the cover for May. And perhaps pick one of these to put on the top. And then for the pages inside, I want to set intentions for the month again, because I thought that worked really well for me last month. And I was going to use one of my ledger papers from the printables, but I accidentally printed this at the wrong size, at A5. And then I've just realised that's probably going to be perfect for this zine as it happens. So I've got my artwork on the back of the ledger paper, but really faded out. So I think I'm going to write my intentions for the month on top of there. I also want to document, big moment for me already this month, the Line of Duty finale. I hadn't even watched any of them, and then I kind of got caught up in the hype, I think, over the last month or so. So during April, I watched every episode. So no spoilers here, don't worry, I'm not going to say anything if you haven't watched them. But I was so excited then to watch the finale, so I'm going to document that in here. And then I think I'm going to do a third page. In my new book, one of the things that I really like using my journal for is making a difference. So on page 86, I've got a few layouts that you can use in your journals for that. And I'm thinking I might do something like this, where I just sketch out a heart and do some dotted lines, and then any time I do something which I hope has made a difference to someone's life in a positive way, then I can just sort of add another strand and then write what I did. And I think that would be nice for me as a good intention to sort of keep focusing on kindness and making a difference throughout May. So that's what I'm going to create in my journal zine, and then I will complete the other 3 pages throughout the rest of the month and then share them with you in June. The first thing that I'm going to do is start off by decorating my cover. So I'm opening up the zine and laying it flat, and I'm then going to put glue all over it. And I've been asked a few times about the glue that I use, and it's Pritt Stick, and I found that so far it's held down the covers and decorations really well. And as always, I'll try and remember to link all of the products that I've used in the description box down below, just in case there is anything that you're looking for. So I'm pressing that paper down nice and firmly, and I will also fold the zine in half just to make sure that it's sticking down exactly as I'd like it to. And then I'll use some scissors to trim off all of the excess paper. One of the things that I've really enjoyed about this mini journal zine project each month is it's really encouraged me to focus in on the most important things each month. I keep a daily journal where I jot down a few lines from each day, and I really like having that record because there's so many little details that I know I'll forget. But just having one zine for each month with the most kind of important or standout moments to me, I think it's a lovely thing to be able to look back through. I decided that I wanted to add a quote to my cover, and the one that I chose was, "I'm busy finding my inner peace." And that felt just right for me at the moment. I think I've had loads of different thoughts going on in my head about things that I should be doing, what people are expecting me to be doing, and actually the most important thing for me off the back of a busy few months has actually been to focus on just feeling at peace and enjoying all those little moments. So I thought that was a really nice way to set the tone for May. One thing I find when you add quotes to the covers of your journals or on journal pages is sometimes they can look like they're just kind of floating there. So one of my tips is to add some little lines so it almost looks like it's stitched onto the cover. And I think that gives it a really lovely effect and makes it look like it was meant to be there. And for this I'm using a black Muji gel pen. And the only other thing I'm going to add to my cover is the date. And I'm going to use a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen with a firm nib to letter out May 21. Now that the cover is done, I'm going to move on to my first page inside. So I'm going to cut out this misprint of the ledger paper with the painted plant pot in the background. And I'm just so happy with this misprint because it feels like this was meant to be, and I'm going to glue that down on that first page. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to use this to set some intentions for myself for May. And I always set myself goals each month of things that I'd like to achieve, but my intentions for me are something a bit different. So this is more where I'm focusing on how I want to feel and how I want to be really during the course of the month. For my writing, I'm going to be using a Kaweco Sport fountain pen, and this is one that I got from my birthday and it's absolutely beautiful. So under my intentions for May, I'm writing, at times during April, I became distracted by things that aren't quite right for me at the moment. For May, I want to focus on things that make me feel happy, making a difference, and feeling at peace with my decisions. And I love having that right there at the front of my journal zine, just making it clear on kind of what my priorities are for the month. On the next page, I want to document the Line of Duty finale, and I get asked a few times about the photo printer that I use, and it's the Brother colour label printer. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The photo quality is great, and I was able to print out some lines of text as well. So I'll also leave that linked down below. I decided that I wanted to add a background behind my photo, so I'm going to use this Tim Holt stencil and Distress Oxide ink in shaded lilac. Because Line of Duty is about the police, I thought it would be perfect to have that kind of bluish background. So I've covered up the left-hand page with some old scrap paper, and I'm going to use my ink blending tool to press the ink through the stencil all over my page. It's not that often that I get particularly hooked by a TV programme, but I so enjoyed this, and my mum was watching it, and my daughter was even watching it while she was away at university, and we caught up on a couple together when she came home. So it's felt like a real family thing that we've all been able to talk to each other about. So that's kind of like why it felt special enough to warrant a page in my mini journal zine. So I'm just moving the elements around and deciding where I want them to go on my page. And these photos have a backing which you can easily peel off, and then they're printed onto rolls of sticker paper. Next, I decided I wanted to add another couple of stickers for decoration. And I think I've mentioned this sticker book a couple of times. It's from London Gifties, And I found it so helpful to put lots of my stickers in because they're just so easy to find there. And particularly when I've got just a few left on different sheets, it feels like a really nice way to be able to keep them. And I think it's encouraged me to use stickers that might have stayed in my stash for a while otherwise. For my writing, I'm using a black Muji gel pen, and I'm just writing down a few notes saying I was really late to the party with this, but that I've loved every minute, and it was kind of proper edge of your seat stuff. So it really took my mind off everything else. For my final page that I'm going to create during this video is where I want to do my Make a Difference heart page. So I'm using a pencil to just loosely sketch out the shape of a heart. And this is something I really want to focus on this month, and always really, is how I can use my journal to focus myself on making a difference for other people. And often that might only be in quite small ways, but I think it's a really lovely thing for us all to be able to focus on. Now that I'm happy with the shape of the heart, I'm going to use a Sakura Pigma Micron pen to ink in the details. And I really like these pens because they're waterproof, and I know they won't smudge if I'm using pencils or watercolours or anything else. I'm then adding the title Make a Difference, and to add some colour to my heart I'm going to be using some Bruinzeel pencils, which were very kindly sent to me by Royal Talons. And I've used them on lots of my journal pages now, and I think that they blend together really beautifully. Once I've added the colour, I'm going to draw some dotted lines coming down from the heart and record the first thing that I think I've done, which hopefully made a small difference. And then I'm hoping by the end of the month that I'll have added lots of little strands with small things that I've been able to do. I've got a couple of friends who are going through a tough time at the moment, and I want to make sure that I'm checking in regularly with them and just letting them know I'm thinking about them. I also just want to be more aware of things that are going on in our community, both our online community and my local community, and just look out for some small things that hopefully I can do to just make somebody smile for a moment or make things a little bit easier for them. I really hope that you're enjoying this mini journal zine project as much as I am. I think there's just so many fantastic ways we can use these little books. And please do share them with me over on Instagram. Tag me in. I'm at Journal with Purpose. And please make sure you tag me in on the photo itself so that I'll definitely see it. I've seen them being used as beautiful art journals. Somebody's used them to record a poem in it every day. I've seen quotes, photos of from people's gardens. There's just so many lovely options for this, so please do keep sharing them with me. I absolutely love seeing them. I really hope you're doing well, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, it would be great if you leave it with a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. As always, a huge thank you to everybody who's joined me over on Patreon. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.